What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back. Sooner Surge live on this Monday evening. Hope everybody's doing good tonight on this Monday. Lots to talk about today. Some news for the Monday, which is kind of nice. We'll get to it here in a minute. First, welcome everybody to the show. Glad you have joined us as usual. Jerm, how you doing today?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
I'm on the phone tonight.
You're on the phone with us.
Yeah, on the phone, not on my computer. So it'll be what
Gotcha.
Maybe interesting tonight.
Volume is low, Sooner fan said, and then he said, LOL, disregard. Okay. That's probably low when I was talking.
Absolutely.
You're
going to have to help me with the comments because I can't see him tonight.
Okay. Hey, couple of things. We're going to get to a lot of stuff tonight. You had the Josh Pate interview with Brent Venables. You had the big announcement basketball-wise, Trae Young, assistant GM, and donating $1 million. Just outstanding news for the basketball program. I already know people are going to say, give that money to football. Give it to – hey, if you're wanting to raise money for basketball, that's the best way to do it. Former players, he's part of the program now as far as the assistant GM. He's actually going to be involved in roster management. Second one to do this as far as active players. You had Steph Curry a few weeks ago, and now Trae Young. So it's big-time news for the basketball program for sure.
Oh, it's massive news for the basketball program. I've got some thoughts on it. I'll get to those later because I don't want to get started off the wrong foot. So, man, I'm really going to need my glasses tonight. I can't see anything on this small phone.
Hey, did you see that? I think it was – I'd have to find the exact tweet. Maybe Hunter can find it. But Gerald McCoy – don't get that close to the camera, please. We don't need to see that. Gerald McCoy said on a tweet today something like, work for the NFL Network, YouTube, and OU football. And he had like a little question mark face. Like, that was
no.
What?
Don't.
I don't know if you saw the tweet. My thing was about Colin's question about what do you think of NBA players and NFL players becoming GMs? Here's my thing. It depends. Like, if Trae Young was going to be out there, why do you turn to your side and shake your head? Hey, by the way, I guess, well, I'm not going to go there tonight. So I'm not going there tonight. Just why were you shaking your head?
I think there is a night and day difference in basketball and football. What I mean is, in basketball, you really need 5 guys, okay? And then a few guys on the bench. Football, like, people aren't going to go to a university and play football because Gerald McCoy tells them to. However, in basketball, there's a lot more influence from a guy in the NBA than there was like I don't think it's comparable. You don't
think there's any influence from a guy that was in the NFL?
Well, Curtis Lofton was, right, Jay?
Listen, I think the whole thing
Curtis Lofton was in the NFL, right?
Well, can I finish talking?
Case closed.
My point is this. It depends on what you're having the GM do. Like, if the GM is out there doing what Nagy's doing, evaluating in talent and all that stuff, just grabbing a guy that used to play for OU and being in the NFL, it's not going to do you much good. You like, if you're going to be involved with all the evaluation and recruiting and all that part of it, you need a guy that's like Jim Nagy. But my thoughts. What do you think of Frank? Hey, Frank Reich's a great coach. I think Frank Reich's a great coach.
Hey, did you get to the? I can't show it. I can't really do
super. Let's get to the super from Dave.
Yeah, exactly. 9 straight at least.
Unbelievable. It's got the Cal Ripken streak going.
I mean, Cal Ripken has nothing on Dave McCook.
Yeah.
Jay, that's one of those moments, though, in sports. Where were you when? That Cal Ripken moment was it.
Yeah, Chuck says, Jay, you did say roster management. What do you mean with Trae Young? He is going to have some roster management, is the way I took it.
Yeah, I don't really care about that part of it, personally.
Spears is going to NBA, guys. I cannot believe the amount of people today on Twitter when they said there's going to be an announcement at 2:30 that thought it was Fears coming back or Fears going to make his NBA announcement. I mean,
hey, here's a bigger question: who's the GM?
Will they have a GM?
You can't have an assistant GM if you don't have a GM, dude. Jeez.
Sure you can.
He would be the GM.
Well, maybe the GM is a different role, but
hey, sir, you're the assistant manager. Who are you the assistant to?
I don't know. I'm just shocked all this even happened, according to you. But
what do you mean by that?
I'm not going to go there tonight.
I'll go there right now. About 4 nights. I'll go there right now and get it off my chest. About 4 or 5 nights ago, I made a comment.
Yeah,
I said, you know what? Trae Young's giving to the women's program. He's buying tickets. Seems to be doing more to the women's program than he does the men's program. Maybe there's an issue there with Porter Moser. Maybe he doesn't like Porter Moser. Well, guess what?
No, that's not what you said. You didn't say maybe he doesn't like Porter Moser. You said
go ahead and tell me what I said.
You said I got the clip, but you said, you know what? I think I think the deal is Trae Young does not like Porter Moser.
Yep, I said that.
I mean, and then we went on an argument. We went on an argument.
This doesn't change anything for me. This doesn't change anything.
20 minutes about it.
This doesn't change anything for me. I think this is great for the program. Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. This is exactly what the basketball program needed. It's exactly
maybe Trae Young heard me say that. I don't know.
Oh, geez. Here we go. Wow. How big is your head? Is Tatum
the same size?
Is Taylor Tatum getting an NIL pay cut? By the way, twins, does that not mean you have the same personality, by the way? Why did you say that?
Hey, Chuck, I don't have any issue saying I was wrong. I was wrong. Obviously, he cares about the men's basketball program too. Okay? Hey, and for anyone who thinks that, well, I bet Germ's going to be upset that Trae Young's the assistant GM and donating $1 million? Wrong. Not upset. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled by it. I'm so excited for it. This is the greatest news for the basketball program in a long time. Now, I still think there's coaching issues. I'll be in the minority there. I don't care.
Jeremy, will it help with recruiting? I think yes, for sure.
No, Jay, $1 million in Trae Young won't help any with recruiting. Absolutely, it will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then what? Then what, Jay? There's not going to be any excuses anymore. What are you going to say then?
There aren't. I mean, if you get your NIL right, yeah, then there wouldn't be.
Yeah, if they're bad, it's coaching issues. That's the problem.
Hey, did you watch the BV interview today, or not? Did you see any of it?
I watched the majority of it. I wasn't surprised by much of anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, what were your overall thoughts?
What's the Charlie Brown? Blah, blah, wow. I mean, it was much of what I thought, Jay. Now, I will say there was one thing I thought was a little strange. I don't want people to come on here and just rip. And look, BV is a great interviewer. He says all the right things. There was one thing I thought that was a little weird when Pate asked him, and I can't see any chat that's trolling in, so you're going to have to help me, Jay. If someone comes at me, show me so I can see it. But he said something. He said, 2 years ago I called the defense. We got 10 wins. We were 3 points away from playing Texas. So I think that was pretty good. And actually, it wasn't the defense that year that really was the reason they had the 10 wins. The offense was as much to think as that. So that was a little bit, I thought, to point to that 10-win season. I don't know. Look, he said the right things. A lot of the guys he's coached with forever. They know this system, all those things. That's right. I didn't expect anything different.
Yeah, I mean, I think
this is killing me. I can't see comments, man.
Okay. Well, I can read you the comments. I'm able to read. But whatever. Monty says, find us a good big man or two, Trae. The weak schedule was the reason for 10 wins, what Dowpost says. Much, much easier. Yeah, it was. Hookem, what's up, Hookem, on here tonight? We've got a couple Longhorns in here tonight. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I've seen some rumblings about some things at scrimmages and kind of with the O-line and different things. What is going on? Jeremy, you back? Dude, what happened? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Germs in there or something.
Hey, Chuck, I 100%, 1,000% agree with you. He's a stud at coaching defense. Absolutely is. Love it. Love it.
Sooner fan says, was listening to the Pat Jones show. They think that the part of the reason that BB didn't get a head coaching job before he used it, he didn't interview well. He talks. Well, I would that be, could you say the same thing about Eric Bieniemy? Because remember all the jobs he interviewed for, never got one. So I don't know. I don't know.
BB wasn't ready to be a head coach.
I also think he was very selective. I think he could have went
very much so,
but he was very selective. Pat Jones sucks more than him. Jay Johnson says Nagy's evaluating BB daily. If Nagy was hired sooner, be hired. Jerm clicked off it, I guess. But did you see that? I thought the hype video, the 26 legendary class video with Nagy, I thought that was pretty good. Barry Switzer in a video. When you go back, not now, Barry Switzer when he talks and does things, but when you go back to when he was coaching, some of the quotes he had, just fire, man. Fire.
Oh, it's absolute greatness. Hey, I do agree that the players love BV, and I said it last year when they weren't giving up.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the camaraderie they have is great.
They needed to work out.
The fact that Mateer is even ribbing them some and things, I think that's great.
Yeah, they need this to work out with Brent Venables. They need to have a good year this year. I think that's the best for the program, man. I think it'd be great. I saw where SEC Mike called cousin Shane now Sooner Shane. I guess Shane said if they can go 5-0, they're probably going to make the playoff. You agree with that or disagree?
Let's see the first 5 games.
Now listen, let me say this. I didn't see the interview. I just saw something on Twitter about that exchange. Maybe he said that if they go 5-0, this team could be a playoff contender. Yes or no?
If they go 5-0, they could make the playoff. Yeah, they would have to go 4-3 their last games.
So that 5-0 gets you what before Texas? That gives you that would be Auburn, the only SEC win at that point, correct?
Auburn, Michigan, and 3 non-con. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would still. I mean, 6-0. You're 6-0. You're there.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't.
5-1. 5-1 have a chance. Hey,
and here's the big thing.
Great God. Last year 9-3 did not get in, but I'm not saying it won't this year.
No, but it might not. He's right. You might need to get to 10-2. Shane said that he's betting on the over 6.5. Okay, Chuck watched it. I would bet over on that because I think they're getting at least 7. I mean, I'd take the over on 6.5.
The hype train is really getting full, Jay. Hey, I saw someone drop in the chat the offensive line that they were saying.
Yeah, I saw it in the Discord tonight too.
I think Fabecchi's one that can be replaced. I think he may be replaced by season starting time, and it may be Ryan Foche. I would love me 2 guards of Foche and EPL. I know that.
Yeah, that'd be. I like that too. Mike over Shane waffled. I do like some BV. Ron. What questions do y'all have about OU's team now that they're halfway through spring practice? Okay, so it's a good question to tackle. Biggest question I have, I want to know who are their top 2 tight ends. If they play tomorrow, who would they roll out as 1 and 2? The other one would be it'd have to do with probably linebacker and Cheetah and how they're going to do that situation. Now, O-line's a question mark, but I'm saying
pretty simple. Kendall Daniels is the Cheetah. I don't understand the people that like he is primo Cheetah body style.
I agree with you there.
Kendall Dolby coming back from injury. I don't know.
This is very important. Backup center. I think a center and a linebacker are your center, linebacker, defensive back. Give me those 3 as portal guys.
Yeah, I agree. 918 says like Sexton moving to guard and Howland and Simmons at tackles. Hey, 918. I agree that moving Sexton to guard for Fabecchi would be fine, but I'm not going to sit here and claim that Howland's better than Fasusi right now. I don't know.
I think Howland's got a high upside, man.
My question for 918 is, if you want the best 5, what if Fasusi's one of the best 5? Do you want him? Because there's some people would say, no, they wouldn't want Fasusi because he's a true freshman. Well, if he's the best 5, he should be out there.
I don't see a scenario where EPL is not starting. He has to be, right?
Correct. I just don't know that Howland and Sexton are both starting.
Yeah, that's very concerning, Grey God. Very concerning. I would be concerned about that as well. Nobody with experience at center there, really, to speak of.
You may need to go ahead and make the change and put Fabechi as backup center and put someone else as guard just to do it.
Well, they're kind of in the similar boat they were in last year at center.
Yeah.
So that's concerning. I mean, that if you look at the O-line, that's probably my biggest concern is because let's face facts, Everett hasn't been healthy at OU for a whole season. Hadn't done it. No. So what makes you think he's going to be healthy the whole season this year? And if he's not, who do you go with?
Did he get hurt after he came back last year?
Everett?
Yeah.
You know, he was out at the beginning. He was just
started playing. I don't think he did, Jay.
He was kind of banged up all year round. I mean, even when he was playing.
That's lineman, dude. That's lineman. Jerry, the whole O-line and tight end room is concerning. I would say the tight end room more than the O-line. They've got guys at O-line. They've got to pick the right ones.
Who plays the most snaps, Sexton or Gentry? I'm going to go Sexton. They're both injured, been injured quite a bit.
Probably Sexton.
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, EPL, Monty. You're right. O-line and tight end room is probably the biggest concern, is what Jerry says. No, after he came back, he was most consistent guy, but yes, I don't think he made it through an entire season healthy.
Hey, Bagman, was Walter Rouse a portal bust? Was McCain Matoyer a portal bust?
Hey, you want to talk about a portal? Hey, you want to talk about a
portal bust?
You want to talk about a portal bust? You ready for it? I'll give you a hint. Last name is the name of a color. And the color just showed up in a super chat.
Teal?
Green. Caden Green. You talk about a portal bust.
We'll see what he does.
Hey, the reason I bring it up is I think it's very, very difficult to find really good offensive linemen in the transfer portal. That's not where you find them. You find them out of high school. Hey, Hookem, thanks so much for the super. Appreciate it, man. Really appreciate that. Says, any indication your coaching staff has adjusted the intensity of the practices given the number of injuries? We've heard them say that they're going to, right? Isn't that kind of what you've heard too, Jerm? Now, whether or not they've done that, I don't know. I'm not at practice, but I wonder if that's something they have. Hey, your finger's right there in the camera there.
Yeah, this is so bothering me, man. I just can't. Golly. Hey, Bagman, was Walter Rouse a bust? No.
He said yes, Germ, all bust.
He doesn't know football then. Sorry, Bagman.
Tyler Guyton worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Guyton was pretty good.
And 918's right about that. But what I'm saying is that I think O-linemen in the portal, it's hard to find great ones. I think they're small margins. Hey, and thanks again for the super, Hookem. I hope that they figure some things out.
You probably this year.
What?
Everett's a portal guy.
Hey, Grey God, who got injured this year? Who's gotten injured this year?
Are you talking about in spring?
Yeah, who's gotten injured? You had Gibson that was already injured and just kind of had a setback. But who else has gotten injured this year? I don't know of any. I know guys that are kind of recovering from last year in surgeries, but I'm trying to think of new guys that have gotten injured. Bowen and Gibson, But they were already kind of. Are you talking about Eli Bowen? Okay, you could say Bowen, but Gibson was just a setback. He was already kind of injured. Well, and I get the banged up stuff, and I'm glad they're sitting him out. Maybe that's something they didn't do before was sit people out. I don't know.
If games were this Saturday, a lot of those guys would play.
Yeah, I do think there's a fine line though, as far as overworking him and the physicality, because it didn't help that the offense was so weak last year and that the defense was probably beating them up in practice. Because you look at the injuries, most of them were on offense.
Doesn't sound like the defense is just beating them up this year.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, still have Burks, Famone. Good to see you on here, Famone. Really good to see you on here, bud. Do y'all still have Burks? Yes, Burks is back. Max says it sounds like they have adjusted the practices based off the interview. So,
and the biggest thing that tells me is BV is changing how he does things. To me, look, there can be guys who suck and don't change what they're doing, and those are the guys who will never be successful as a coach. A coach who's not any good but continually adjusts and listens to what other people are giving him advice on, I think that's a good thing for BV. I think that's a great thing for BV.
Colin says Texas. Now, Hookham is on here and KV's on here. Maybe they can talk a little more about this, but Ryan Wingo,
I don't know what happened.
Got banged up and out for the rest of spring. I hope he gets better. What's up, Johnny boy? Hope you're doing good. Famone feels better today. Good deal. Good deal, Famone. Glad to hear it. Who's going to be the kicker, Jerm? Monty wants to know. Inquiring mind wants to know here.
Kennesaw State guy, Jay. Actually, no, the punter is. I think the starting kicker is going to be Evans.
KB says tweaked his hammy, so shut him down. Liam Evans. Liam Evans, okay.
Correct.
No, it's going to be Mateer. Mateer's the quarterback, Famone. Hawkins will be the backup. Zaya says Austin Welch. Devin says Canick will kick. Can Porter kick? No, I think we'll pass on that, Hookham. Nice try.
I'd take Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker. Let me ask this while we're on this subject of kickers. Who are your most despised kickers? And it doesn't have to be in college. Just the guys that you could not stand. Either because they always beat your team or you just is there any
one of the most despised kickers, but maybe the greatest kicker of all time is Adam Vinatieri.
Why was he despised?
Well, I hated the Patriots, and he never missed.
Oh, Ray Finkel. That's a good one. What are they doing
for OU? I tell you who's maybe my most hated of all time. It's the Georgia kicker that wore the glasses.
Oh, yes. That would be mine. That's a good one.
What's his name?
What is his name?
He's in the league. He's in the league right now.
It's on the tip of my tongue. What is his name?
He wore number 99. He wore number 99.
Blankenship. That's it.
That's
Blankenship.
One of my most hated kickers of all time.
Let's see. I was wanting to see Chief T-Bird here. So what the heck are they doing instead of the spring game? Well, they're doing the Crimson Combine, and I couldn't tell you exactly. There'll be more details, I'm sure, as it gets closer. But they're going to do some
details. Tomorrow's April 1st.
Fun activities. Hey, tomorrow's April 1st.
Correct.
April Fools. Do you do any April Fools jokes at work or anything?
Absolutely not.
No.
I'm not a prankster. I don't want to be pranked, and I'm not going to prank anyone.
Let me tell you, I used to do some pretty good ones. Back when I worked at Starbucks, I would do some pretty good ones. I would take the coffee pod that drops as an espresso shot pulls, a little round pod. It looks like a brownie. I would put it on a plate, put whipped cream on it, and deliver it out to the lobby. And it was coffee grounds, not a brownie. stuff like that. Used to do some good ones back in my day.
Thanks for sharing, Jay. I appreciate the.
Not anymore, Jerm. Not anymore.
That was classic, Jay. That was just classic.
It was that classic.
That was amazing.
Colin says L's this season are Texas, LSU, South Carolina, Bama. So he's got OU at 8-4. So you
OU has to beat LSU at home. They have to.
So basically, with that, Colin's got him. Hey, and hey, Hunter. By the way, just so you know, it was customers I was great friends with.
Yeah, Hunter doesn't understand that.
Saw me every day. It was a joke. They knew it was a joke afterwards. Hey, it just made him want to come back even more. It's a fun place. Okay, Hunter. I know how it works. Buddy. But based off Colin's prediction here, he has OU only losing one home game. LSU, correct?
Yeah, that's why I think they have to win every home game because I agree with Colin on the other things. Texas, Bama for sure, and South Carolina is going to be difficult. I mean, who could you steal a road win at? Where could you steal a road win at, Jay? South Carolina maybe, but where else?
South Carolina possibly. Where else? Who else did you say?
Where else on the road you going to steal one?
Hey, I don't know.
Probably not Tennessee.
No, but I got to see Alabama with a quarterback. I don't know about their quarterback situation.
Well, we know that they got Grubb back, so they're going to be better.
They're going to be better. I just don't know. I mean, it depends on how good OU. You're asking me a question. I got to see how good OU is first. Okay, what games are must win right now? I think your home games are must win if you're
Their home games are all must wins. Every one of them.
If people are on there saying they want OU to go 9-3, something like that.
I've got an idea for you. My concept on must wins. Every game is a must win. Like I don't want to get this argument again, but if you're not guaranteed anything, then they're all musts. How can anyone disagree with that?
They're not a must win.
If none of them are guaranteed in the SEC, then they're all musts.
I look at must win different than you.
Okay. What's a must win?
Give me what record you're saying for OU. Just throw that out there.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Big Jen. Thank you.
Hey, go 9-3. If it's 9-3, must wins to me for 9-3.
Every game is a must win.
Not for 9-3. You can lose 3.
Okay, tell me the 3 you're losing. You don't know, so they're all must wins, Jay. You don't know which ones you're going to lose.
You may know English. Win them all. You may know English and grammar, but this argument you always do on must win is so dumb. If you're going to
understand,
Jeremy, if you're going to get to 9 wins, that means 3 games you can lose. That means 3 games are not must wins. The only way they're
the 3 they're losing right now.
The only way they would all be must wins.
You know the 3 they're losing.
Are you done?
Yeah, sure, Jay. Go ahead, and then I'll talk.
The only way they would all be must wins is if you start 0-3. Then every other game's a must win if you want to get a 9-3. That's how it works in my head.
Let me explain my point. Go ahead, Dionne Warwick, and tell me the 3 games are losing, bud.
I can't predict that, but I thought maybe
Thank you very much. You can't predict it. Therefore, they're all must wins.
I thought maybe you could predict it with Jack. You know, your prediction of Jackson Arnold. I thought you'd be pretty spot on with prediction of wins.
Hey, Jay, guess what? That was an opinion on something. This is a fact right here. It's a fact, as Jen says. Facts, Jerm.
Hey,
every game is a must win if you don't know what you're winning.
Open the phone lines.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
Open the phone lines.
Let me ask you a question. On this MyFitnessPal crapola. Okay?
What? Did you go look it up today and try to join?
Absolutely not.
I bet you did.
Absolutely not.
I bet you did, Jerm.
Nope.
Googled it, didn't you?
Didn't. I don't sink to your level.
Cool. You just sink. Cool. What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to give you an analogy, Jay.
I'm here. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere.
Let's say you're coaching, Jay. Okay?
You're coming up with this on your head. You can't even. All right, go.
You're coaching a team, and your goal is to make the playoffs. You know, to make the playoffs, you've got to get to a certain record. Let's just say that record is 10-2.
Yeah.
You're going into your first game. In your mind, do you got to win it?
Depends on who I'm playing. If it's a really tough game, no. It's a toss-up. The must-wins are the games I should win if I want to
But
get.
you're not guaranteed to win them.
Dude, I don't know what your argument is here, but you're
You're
wrong.
not guaranteed, so you got to get them all.
WRONG, Germ, is
Cool, Jay.
wrong.
Guess what? Guess why I know I'm not wrong? Because first off, define the term must win.
That means if you're wanting to set your goals, you have to win it. Must win to get where you want.
Then there's only one must win all year, and it's when you get an elimination round.
Well, that's what I said. If you're 0-3 and you want to win 9 games, every game's a must win.
Nope. Every time in the middle of the year, you'll say, this is a must win. Oh, you can't lose this game. It's must. How? It's not must till it's elimination round.
Hey, nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed, so they're all musts.
Cool, Germ. There's the phone line if you want to call in. There it is right there. Yeah, Famone says he predicted the Jackson Arnold thing to Auburn earlier in the year on the show. I kind of remember that a little bit. I think I remember that a little bit. It's a mentality thing, Joe says. Can't go into any game writing it off as an okay if we lose. I agree with that.
Thank you, Joe.
I agree with that, but we're talking about as a fan perspective. Must win.
They're all must because you're not guaranteed any. I'm going to make a shirt. It's going to say Sooner Surge, and on the back it's going to say nothing is guaranteed. Therefore, every game is a must.
Hey, let me ask you something, because you coach track.
Yep.
Was it a must that all your on your team events, right? Your team events, was it a must that every player on your team finish first place? To finish first place as a team?
What?
No,
some could finish third, and it would
be how?
Here,
nothing is guaranteed. They need to win it all. They need to win every game.
That's why I would always tell the athletes.
It's a must to finish first.
That's why I would always tell the athletes we must score points in everything. We got to score points in everything.
Okay, you picked it up.
Everything.
Did you just throw that? What was that?
We must score points in everything because we don't know where we're going to need them.
Yeah, this is stupid, this argument. So
I can't see the comments, so
there's nothing to see. Talking about your
the comments don't matter. Okay.
Who pitches tomorrow night? Braden says. Well,
Ella Smith is who's pitching.
OU softball, I would say Smith or Deal.
Smith or Deal.
If I had to guess.
It's a road game at UT Arlington.
Hey, speaking of on fire, Oklahoma City Thunder, they're pretty much unbeatable right now. It doesn't matter who they roll out there and play with. They can have 3 guys injured, doesn't matter. They got to win the whole thing this year. When's the parade? Get it set up.
Hey, Jay, how come in the NBA playoffs, when the Thunder, let's say they play the first 2 home games, you say you must, or when you're on the road, you must win one of the 2? No, you must win every game you can.
Yeah, I did see that, Jen. I saw that. Kind of remind me of some other brawls back in the day.
By the Pistons.
Devin says if you watch 12 Hallmark movies, they will all suck, guaranteed. KB's got his welder's hood tonight for Jackson when he calls in. Jackson, I don't know if he'll be calling in or not, but phone lines are open if you'd like to call in.
Hey, yeah. Hallmark movies, I won't get on that tangent tonight. I'll save it for another night.
Please do. Anything else you want to say on any football side of things, Jerm? Somebody mentioned Satania in here. Drum really thinks Satania is kind of like a safety blanket for Mateer right now. He really likes to go to him when he needs him. Like needs something, bail him out. He'll throw it to Satania.
Here's my question for you, Jay. Where is Satania going to play? Because I foresee him as a slot guy.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. I mean,
which means, is he a safety blanket because Deion Burks isn't playing? Because that's where Deion would be. I mean, that's.
Yeah, we'll see.
I actually think Satania can be a slot or outside. I think he can do either or. I hear Jay typing. Jay right now is typing. Define must win for me.
I'm.
Hey, actually,
I promise you I wasn't
do
typing.
something right now, Jay, because I can't.
I promise I wasn't typing that in.
Hunter, go to AI, go to some AI thing and say, AI, what is a must win for Oklahoma Sooners and
You know what I know? You know what I know about you after living with you for 27 years?
What's that?
Never in my life did we have an argument and you just end it. It's like goes on and on and on until either one, you're right, or two, you get a good explanation of something. It's just
cool. Even though I've held up signs saying I'm wrong, so whatever.
Hey, let's get to Colin. Colin's on the line. What's up, Colin?
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just watching this Thunder team dominate every team we play.
They're dominating right now.
But I will say about the must-win games, I feel like it depends on the goals of the team. Because, like, if your goal is to reach the conference championship or, like, make the playoffs, you don't have to go undefeated to do that.
Exactly.
Yes, ideally, you want to go in to every game hoping to win that. But if you're a coach, you're like, okay, tough loss, but we still have our goals set on what we need.
Exactly. Great point. Well said, Colin. That's kind of what I was trying to say, but you said it better.
But I think both of you are missing my point. Listen, if I'm the coach, Colin and Jay, and we lose a game, I can still say, you know what? We still have all our goals in front of us. So you know what? The next win's a must win.
But the one you just had wasn't a must win.
It was until you lost it, and then you had to regroup and say, the next one's a must win.
What else is going on, Colin?
About the Thunder, I agree with what you guys said. I don't know which team could beat this team in a 7-game series because now we just after this game had a historic first time ever in NBA history going 28-1 against the Eastern Conference. So,
and tonight, Colin, they started the lineup that will be starting in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I've hated with fans on social media is that people are like, oh, SGA won't get the whistle. It's more physical. I'm telling them good because that just means our defense is going to be more suffocating. I want the tougher whistle because that means our defense is going to be a lot harder. And newsflash, SGA doesn't need the 3 throws. He'll still get his 25, 30 points, and the teammates will still be on fire.
Well, tonight he had a lot of assists. He might have had a season high in assists, and I think they're really good when he's dishing out the ball.
Hey, Colin, give me 2 teams in the Western Conference you'd like to stay away from. The 2 teams that scare you the most as a Thunder fan.
Of course, as a Thunder fan, I have to say Dallas, even though I don't think they'll make it that far. They may make the play-in, but too realistic.
Denver?
I would say, Denver and Lakers.
I'm with you. Same 2 for me.
Those 2, not saying that we would lose to them. I think we'd still win in 6 or 5 or 7. It's just those matchups will be difficult to match up against because they both have really good players.
I'm with you. And
other than that, I think we can easily get through with 5 with like most teams.
I would agree with what you said exactly. Nuggets, Lakers. That's the ones as well. So.
All right. Thanks, you.
Colin.
Thanks. Hey, I'm going to say something right now, and I know some people might really not like it, but if the Thunder don't win the NBA title this year, it's a major disappointment. It is an extreme disappointment if they don't win the title this year. It's actually way underperforming if they don't win the title.
I wouldn't have said that before the season, but with what they've done and
underperforming.
When you look at their stats, and they're basically every category, they're by far and away right now. They are the best team in the world. They're the best team in the world.
It would be a travesty if this team doesn't win it all.
Is it a must win though? 918 says
they're all must wins. Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. A major disappointment. Benjamin says,
if someone gets on here and says, no, the Thunder, they just need to make it there. No, if the Thunder don't win, it's a travesty.
Well, here's the thing. This is your chance to do what Golden State did and win like 2 or 3 with what you got on this team. You can win it.
This team may lose 12 out of 82 to lose a series, they would have to lose 4 out of 7. That
Yeah.
travesty.
But didn't the Warriors not win it when they won 72? Yeah. Yeah. A comment says it right here. I believe that's the year the Cleveland beat him, didn't they? Was that the year LeBron beat him? I'm trying to remember.
I was distracted for a second.
Yeah, man on the Lakers beat him. That's right. LeBron. Correct. That's right. Fran Brown on NCAA rejecting the spring game with Deion Sanders. We should have told Bill Belichick, Bill O'Brien to come up with it.
Oh, that's
wow.
A slap in the face of the NCAA.
Well, it's kind of a slap in the face of the Deion Sanders, isn't it?
No, Jay, it's not.
Why? Saying that
obviously
he's not.
You don't understand.
It's saying
obviously you don't understand it.
It's saying he's not as respected as Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien, according to this.
Let's move on. It's a shot at the NCAA, is what it is.
Did you see Stephen A. taking a shot at? Do I get trivia correct for that one? I'm going to go to get the trivia. Did you see Stephen A. taking a shot of LSU's coach Mulkey?
Oh yeah.
It is a slap to the NCAA. You're right. Hey, let's get to the trivia. Here we go. Before we do, check out the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com. Look at Jeremy's hoodie. That's from the Fan Stop. Check this hat out right here. Can only find this at the Fan Stop. Nowhere else can you find it. Check them out. Thefanstop.com. Code Surge, 10% off your first 3 months. Hey, we were talking earlier. Dave McCook, the guy every night giving supers.
Unreal.
He's on a heater right now, on a streak. What was Cal Ripken's streak? The number?
Jeremy, 4 digits. It's 4 digits.
Well, I know, but do you know it? Top of your head?
I think I know the exact number, yes.
All right, we'll see if you know it. You say it when you see it.
I can't see comments, dude.
I'll put them up here.
I can't see comments.
It's not that one. $918 again.
There it is.
2632. Pretty easy trivia question. Daniel did not get it right, Benjamin. One of these days, I'm going to ask a question that the answer is 69, just so he can get it right. Because it's like clockwork. He puts it in there. And then Devin every night, Sydney Sweeney is answer. Maybe I should ask a trivia question about Sydney Sweeney so you can get one right too. Of course, hey, 918. Did you Google it? I would have had to Google it. I wouldn't have remembered off the top of my head. But
I thought it was 26.
You know what the claim to fame is who replaced him.
When you say replaced, are you talking about when he came in the game?
Yes. Do you know the answer to this? This is pretty obvious.
What is it? Was it his brother?
No.
Billy Ripken?
No.
What? Who was it?
I'm waiting to see if somebody gets it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, OU tie. There it is. Ryan Miner.
Ryan Miner didn't play shortstop, though.
He came in. He was the one that replaced when he pulled out of the game. He was the one that went in, Jerm.
But he didn't play shortstop, though.
I'm telling you the answer. It's Ryan Miner. Jeez, Jerm.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the claim to fame. Man, Ryan Miner was great.
Unbelievable.
Talk about a two. He will go down. Yeah, R.I.P. Think about wait. 2 sport athletes at Oklahoma. Is there a better one? There's not a better one.
Probably not, Jay.
No, there's not probably two. There's not a better one, is there?
Kyler, people could argue.
Kyler didn't. We've had this argument before, and I got pretty upset when people would think I didn't like Kyler Murray as a baseball player. He didn't have the stats.
Kyler would be a better 2-sport athlete, yes.
But what I'm saying at OU
he didn't play in the major leagues, or he would have.
He didn't, though. That's what I'm saying.
He was the number 1 football pick.
I get it. But what I'm saying is Ryan Miner played in the NBA and MLB.
Jay, I'm not going to talk badly about Ryan Miner. He was great. I just think Kyler Murray would still be the better 2-sport athlete.
But you're missing the point. You're saying would be. But what they did, he was not. He only played
because he was so good at one, he wasn't going to play them both, Jay.
I get it, and 918's right. He's the only athlete ever to be drafted, correct? But I'm saying
Jay,
based on
if Kyler Murray was a 5th-round football pick, he would have played both leagues.
Hey, if he were to now retire from football and go play baseball and play in the MLB, he would be the best one.
There's no need.
Let phone link, Hunter, drop the phone link in there for
I've got to share some. If you're not following our TikTok, you need to go follow it because
geez.
We're about to drop something. I was asked to do something. I look like an absolute fool, believe it or not.
Wait, are you just sitting there staring at it like you are now?
Staring at what?
You said you look like an absolute fool. And that
you got to follow our TikTok because we got a little thing we're going to be dropping here tomorrow probably. Heck, it may already be dropped, Jay. I don't know.
Now you're right about this, Lane. There's no comparison. Bo Jackson's the best ever. Hey, real quick before we get to corrections, I got to. Colin says he's heard Mateer's had a hard time with timing some running wide receivers and getting used to them. I think that's just normal. I mean, spring. That's what spring is for. That's it right there. Spring is for that. They'll be on clicking.
He'll throw some picks.
Yeah, but you kind of. I'd want somebody that's going to be a little bit aggressive as long as they're not throwing a ton of picks. Hey, let's get
the stupidity plays that OU quarterbacks made last year. Absolute in the red zone, just stupidity plays.
Yeah. Hey, corrections. What's going on tonight? Happy Monday.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Good. You?
Good. Thanks. How did everything go with your dad today?
I'll say this, Dad. Everything about the place, he kept saying, "This is excellent. This place is too nice for me." But I did, after he got settled in, I called him later. He was still in the dining hall, and he actually asked me, he's like, "Son, I'm at a restaurant, and I need money. I've got to pay for this." I'm like, "Dad, this is all included, dude. Go back to your
all
room."
Inclusive, man.
And he said, "Wait, I get all 3 meals?" I'm like, "Yep, Dad, you get all 3. He had a patty melt tonight. He loved every bit of it. Probably licked the plate clean. So it's good news when he loves the food. So that's the best thing.
Good for him, man. That's awesome to hear. Hey, I finally got to hear. I listened to Gabe and Teddy's podcast from yesterday, and I suggest anybody who hasn't been able to go and watch it, just go and watch it. I think the first 30 minutes is about the spring, about the games, scrimmages that they played this last week. And man, I don't want to get out over my skis, but man, I'm getting excited about this year. And one of the things that I was really excited about to hear, and it was kind of on the back end of it, is that they were like, they heard repeatedly that the BV from Clemson is back. Like, he's going to need a get back coach this year again. That he, Yeah. And I think last year it was such a kick in the groin because once you get into the season and the offense just, you're stuck with it the rest of the year. I mean, you can fire a coordinator and promote somebody else. It's not going to get much better. And you just that dumbfounded look that he had on his face on the sidelines when there's, mid-season, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. And so I think, with Mateer, I know they made a great comment that Mateer was running his jaws a lot, telling the defense how happy he was with the success that they were having during these scrimmages. And you love to hear that. And I think that does a lot for BV too, getting him excited again, saying, "All right, our offense is back, baby, and now we're going to cook on defense." And it's I know sometimes these things are going on in the spring. I know we got summer and everything going and everything, but I know sometimes players, what they do on the practice field does not necessarily, go to game time. How many times have we seen that happen? But everything, the success that we want to have this year, there's no red flags yet. And I say yet, which is a good thing. And everything that, want to be hearing, to have this kind of successful season we want to have, we're hearing. And Gabe and Teddy, the thing I like about them is whether it's game recaps or anything, is they don't blow smoke up anybody's rear end. They don't. They'll call a spade. If players aren't performing, they'll call them out. They don't care. And so far, everything that I'm hearing from these guys, I'm really super happy about.
Did they say anything about the tight end room?
Yeah, and I can't remember the kids. Who's the 275-pounder?
Devon Mitchell.
Yeah, they said he's not seeing the field at all. So I don't know if it's and I don't know if it's. They said they don't know if it's because of some off the field issues or because his body's not right or he's not working hard enough. But they said that he's not seeing any reps until the very end, and they're meaningless reps. And he's not getting targeted or anything like that.
That's surprising because Jeremy. I mean, you said he should have been playing last year.
Well, with the tight end production we had last year, why not throw him out there?
Jay, he was also a lot less. He's 270 now. That's way more than he was last year.
Yeah, was this the same episode? I did hear him talk about he really liked what he saw with Torrey Blaylock, running back on the edge.
Yes, yeah, very, very fast.
Yeah.
I guess the one problem with him though is just his physicality. Still, they gotta make him into an SEC sized player to where he can absorb impact, run some people over. But once he gets in the open field, they said, man, he is gone.
Yeah, he's quick for sure.
Yeah, and so I just and everything everything it just sounds really good and cautiously optimistic, kind of like we've said in the past, but. Just hearing that BV is back, everything he's gone through the past couple of years with his wife being, having cancer and everything, his old self having fun out there, getting after it, like he did at Clemson. That's just great to hear. And, that stuff, everything goes downhill. And it just seems like this whole team's just clicking right now. They're bonding and, we'll have to wait and see, but everything you hear right now, you kind of look for little red flags here and there, and just nothing's really sticking out. So, like I said, cautiously optimistic.
Well, I think one thing too, he's got some coaches there, that he brought in that he's coached with a lot. So I think he's got a little comfortability there with
probably the biggest thing to me, corrections, and take this for whatever you guys want to take it as, but Ben Arbuckle, there were people that thought Ben Arbuckle might be a little timid. Everything I've heard, Ben Arbuckle and the entire offense, not only are they confident, they're not afraid to talk about it either. I just think there's a sense of confidence that's with the offense that Seth Luttrell's persona was not that. That's not the type of person he was. I mean, from what I know, some people have said that, and Mateer is very confident. He's got the little swag, and I think it's kind of trickled down from the top because maybe he's got that swag because he's been around Arbuckle. Everyone wants to talk about Mateer being the next Baker, but guys, he's been under Arbuckle. Arbuckle, I think, has more swag and confidence than people get. People thought he's this shy, timid, maybe 29-year-old. I think he's an arrogant guy a little bit, in a good way.
Right, and you hear that not only with Mateer, but Hawkins is like slinging it again. Like he's not scared. Like Seth Luttrell had these guys so scared to throw the ball. Like if it wasn't wide open, you just don't throw it, and you throw it down to a 2-yard, check down, and we could just never get anything going. And I think Arbuckle is just saying, let it rip. If you don't let it rip, we're going to lose anyway. So if you throw an interception, oh well. And from everything that they were saying, it's like even Hawkins was putting it in some really tight windows and throwing really great balls. And these guys are just, it seems like they're playing fast and loose. And, to win SEC games, you can't play timid. You can't play not to lose. You got to play to win. And I think that with that mentality coming from Arbuckle and Mateer, that really goes, around the whole offensive room. The receivers are going to play harder. The offensive line, everything about the offensive line sounds great. I'm like, holy cow, these guys are playing tough. So we'll see. Yeah. But I'm liking what I'm hearing so far.
Hey, appreciate the update.
Good stuff, man.
Kind of synopsis of that, yeah.
Hey, one thing I'll say. He was talking about the offense and stuff. The thing is, when you're a quarterback and you're in an offense and you are prepared, like the check downs, you're gonna sling it. You're gonna sling it more because you're confident where you're throwing it's the right spot. That's one thing they never could figure out under Luttrell is like they weren't prepared for games. They weren't prepared for blitzes. They weren't. It was just like they just never figured that out. And Arbuckle's done that for a while now. He knows what he's doing. And so,
like Ron says, there's an identity, there's a plan, and hey. I think Xavier Robinson's going to take some leadership role. I really like what I see on Xavier Robinson. There's a lot of people who I don't know if they think he's not going to be the starter, and maybe he's not the number one guy, but I find a hard time believing that.
Hey, real quick, 918's comment. I agree with 918 on this. I'm not hearing as much of that as they probably maybe need to. I think, and maybe it's because people don't want to get their hopes up. But at the same time, you can't say that about Mateer and Baker if you're not going to say it about Arbuckle and Riley. The comparisons are eerily similar with age and everything about it coming from a smaller school.
Oh, yeah.
I think you got to wait and see it on the field. I am anyway. But I'm the same way with Mateer. I'm going to wait and see it because I'm a little hesitant. I'm not like hesitant. I'm worried they're not going to be any good. I just want to see. I think they will. I think the offense can be a lot better this year.
It's hard to judge it until we see the offense in action and say, like, wow, what a play call that was. Then Arbuckle's going to start raising, credibility for a lot of fans.
I will say this too. Nationally, there are not many videos that I watch that are spring updates that said they had a bad scrimmage or a bad practice.
But I will say
I didn't look very good. So
I
do think you do have to take some of that, and some of that just kind of because I think everybody does that. Say this the guy looks great. I want to see it first two games. After Michigan game, I'm gonna predict my record.
I agree, Jay. I agree, but I'll say this: the best teams I ever coached were teams where my best players were my best practice players and had the best work ethic. I think OU's got a lot of those guys, where like a John Mateer, he's going to work extra. Some of their better leaders are also their best practice players. That is the sign of a championship team. I
would agree with that.
Hey, man, it's been fun. Dave McCook, appreciate you so much tonight again. The streak continues. He's unbelievable, man. Thank you so much, Dave. Thanks for the questions about our dad. Appreciate everyone that's been on here. It's been a fun night. Big news for OU basketball. Trae Young, assistant GM. We'll find out who the GM is maybe in the coming days or weeks. OU softball back in action tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of good things happening, getting close to the Crimson Combine. And then April 1st tomorrow. So appreciate you all. Hit the like before you leave. We really appreciate it.